Welcome to the What Happens Next YouTube channel. What we're aiming to do with this channel is share content designed to make sure that you're supported through whatever's next in your life. And we'd love to continue to do that. I've got a favour to ask today, and what I'd ask you to do is just subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it really helps us deliver really good quality content on a consistent basis. Thank you, and let's go on to the interview. You mentioned very briefly at the start about your book, Grandpa's Fortune Fables. Tell me about how it's gone down, and I suppose the big one is, what's your favourite story in the book?
Oh, right, good question. Right, so a bit about the book first. So the book started, like the basis of it, I was just writing these little stories as I was writing this blog. And then over a while, there's lots of little stories. And people was like, oh, you should make it into a book. So I did. And so the book's essentially taking some, as I mentioned, I really like books like The Richest Man in Babylon. And when I was reading that, I was like, I wish I'd have learned this when I was younger. So that was like the kind of basis of, right, I'm going to make a book that's like that, but for kids. And so, the book kind of goes on this journey through 14 chapters of this sort of grandpa learning from starting off poor, trying to get rich quickly, and that doesn't work out for him. And he kind of gradually learns how to build wealth. And there's other characters in the book. But the story that I like most is probably one called Mr. Lazy, and it's called Mr. Lazy Tree. So throughout the book, it uses like money being like seeds. And so they're kids try and grow this forest, and grandpa does. And one of the stories is that they're trying to work out how do they grow these biggest trees. And so going around this kind of faraway island and finding these big trees and finding out, right, how did they grow them? But every time they went around to find out, right, who owns this tree and how did they grow it? They were like, the person didn't know they had the tree. Like, oh, I didn't realize I've forgotten about that tree. Or the person had died and it was a really powerful story because it essentially shows about patience and about actually, if you want to grow wealth, you kind of don't know. And it's actually based on, I think it's a real, it's one of these kind of semi-real world, like no one knows the actual original story, but it's kind of made into that. So I think it was like JP Morgan did a study on like their investors and said, right, which of our customers have done really well over the last 20 years? And then when they researched it, it was people who had forgotten their passwords, forgot they had the investments, or had died. Essentially, they hadn't done anything, right? Allowed money to grow over time without getting all the sort of ups and downs with the investments and stuff like that. And so that was a really good story, and people like it because they can kind of see what happens, and they like the character Mr. Lazy.